Think positive.
Welcome back to the Goonland Bros podcast, GA for short. I'm your host, Prince. This is a space for inner work, self-improvement, self-discovery, mindset, accountability, integrity, reflection, and personal development. This podcast is built for growth, for honesty, and for becoming a better version of yourself one day at a time. New episodes drop every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Today's episode is called The Mind, Temple, and Battlefield. The same mind that gives peace can create chaos. That's the strange part. One moment it feels like a temple, clear, still, open. The next moment it feels like a battlefield, loud, crowded, conflicted. Same brain, different atmosphere. Thoughts don't ask for permission to appear. They show up. Some are calm, some are intrusive, some are creative, some are destructive. And the speed at which they rotate can feel unreal. It can feel like the mind is working against itself, like two forces exist in the same space, one building, one tearing down. The strange part is that both voices sound like you. That's what makes it complicated. Sometimes the mind feels sacred. Ideas flow, perspective feels balanced, emotions feel organized, silence feels full instead of empty. In that state, nothing feels rushed. Even problems feel manageable. There's space between thought and reaction. Space to decide, space to breathe. That space is powerful. Then something shifts. A memory, a trigger, a comparison, a comment, a small insecurity that didn't look dangerous at first. And suddenly, the tone changes. Now it's an analysis, doubt, overthinking, imaginary conversations, worst case scenarios. Nothing external changed, but internally, it's a different environment. The mind becomes a temple when it's guarded, when not everything is allowed in, when information is filtered, when comparison isn't constantly entertained, because everything consumed leaves something behind. Every conversation, every piece of content, every argument replayed in silence, it all leaves residue, and residue builds atmosphere. The battlefield doesn't start loud, it builds quietly. One negative thought gets entertained, then another connects to it, then another. Soon there's a narrative forming, and narratives are powerful. Because once a narrative forms, the mind starts searching for proof. Proof that something is wrong. Proof that something is lacking. Proof that something might fail. And the brain is very good at finding proof when it's looking for it, even if it has to distort reality slightly to do it. The brain is wired to detect threat, not peace. It scans for what could go wrong. It replays embarrassment to prevent it. It predicts danger to avoid it. That function kept humans alive. But in modern life, there are fewer physical threats. So the brain often turns inward. It starts treating thoughts like threats, memories like threats, future possibilities like threats. And when that happens, the battlefield feels real, even if nothing is actually happening. What makes the temple possible isn't the absence of thoughts, it's awareness. Awareness slows things down instead of reacting immediately. Awareness observes. That's a thought, not a fact, not a prophecy, just a thought. That distinction creates space again, and space is what separates peace from chaos. The battlefield thrives on speed, fast reactions, fast conclusions, fast assumptions, no pause. The temple thrives on delay, a moment before speaking, a breath before reacting, a question before believing. That slight delay changes outcomes. There's also discipline involved. What gets repeated matters because repetition becomes belief, and belief shapes identity. If a thought is rehearsed daily, I'm behind, I'm not enough, I always mess things up. Eventually, it stops sounding like a thought. It starts sounding like truth. That's how battlefields get permanent. But the same thing works in reverse. Repeated calm builds stability. Repeated perspective builds resilience. Repeated grounding builds control. The mind adapts to what it practices. It doesn't choose sides. It strengthens what it repeats. The temple isn't passive. It's structured. It protects attention because attention is currency. Where attention goes, energy follows. And where energy follows, growth happens. The mind multiplies what it's given. The battlefield feels overwhelming because everything is happening at once. Old regret, future anxiety, present insecurity, all fighting for dominance. Without awareness, they blur together. It feels like one big emotion. But it's usually layers: past, future, imagined, rarely present. That's why it feels so real, because your body doesn't know the difference. It reacts the same way. Heart rate shifts, breathing changes, focus tightens, all over something that isn't even in front of you. That's how powerful a thought is. It can pull you out of the room without you moving. If you don't notice it happening, you'll respond to something that was never there. That's how the battlefield wins. Not by force, by distraction, by keeping you locked into something that isn't happening. The longer it runs, the more convincing it feels. Not because it's true, because it wasn't checked. Then you look around. Nothing is happening. No argument. No collapse. No disaster. Just a room. Just a moment. Just what's actually in front of you. Everything else was internal. That realization changes the tone. Because once you separate what's real from what's imagined, the battlefield shrinks. Strip everything away. What's actually happening right now. Not what might happen. Not what already happened. Not what you think someone meant. Right now. Look at it plainly. Are you in danger? Is something falling apart? Is there a real problem in front of you? Most of the time, the answer is no. It's just a moment. A regular moment. Breathing, standing, sitting, existing. That's it. That's how you get through. The rest was projection. And projection feels real until you check it. Once you strip everything down, once you see what's real and what's not, there's still something sitting there. The things you said you would do. The version of yourself you keep thinking about. The goals that didn't disappear. They're still there. Not yelling. Not forcing. Just waiting. Waiting on effort. Waiting on discipline. Waiting on movement. You can quiet thoughts. You can slow reactions. But you can't ignore potential forever. That tension you feel sometimes, it's not always fear. Sometimes it's knowing you're capable of more. And not moving, that gap builds pressure. Not from the world, from yourself. Because the same mind that creates peace also holds your goals. That same mind that creates chaos also delays them. It's the same space, temple, battlefield, and your future sits in the middle of it. It's not two different minds. It's one. The same place where peace exists is the same place where chaos starts. The same place where ideas grow. It's the same place where they get buried. Nothing separate. Nothing external. Just one mind. There will always be both sides inside the mind. Calm and chaos. Clarity and confusion. Momentum and hesitation. They don't cancel each other out. They coexist. It's not that one disappears when the other shows up. They're both there. Even on your best days, doubt can whisper. Even on your worst days, clarity can break through. The presence of one doesn't erase the other. It just depends which one you listen to. Both sides come from the same place. Same brain, same voice, same internal space. That's what makes it powerful. And that's what makes it dangerous. Because it's easy to think the chaos is separate. It's not. It's coming from the same mind that can create peace. Whatever gets fed grows. Whatever gets attention expands. If chaos is rehearsed, it strengthens. If focused is practiced, it strengthens. The mind builds what it repeats. It doesn't choose sides. It responds to direction. That means you will always feel both. The urge to move and the urge to stay still. The pull toward growth and the pull toward comfort. The temple and the battlefield. Same mind every day. Remember this. 2 sides, 1 mind. You control what goes on in your mind, or you can be controlled. I hope you found something worth taking with you today. Maybe a new perspective, maybe a moment to pause and reflect. Thank you for being here and sharing this space with me. Your presence matters. If this resonated with you, share it with someone you care about, because growth spreads through connection. I'll see you next time. Take care of yourself. Stay grounded. And as always, be safe.